Alright, hello. This time, I'm actually going to have my mic working. I just made this video, and I recorded it and all that. I felt really good about it, and then I noticed that my mic was muted on that split. So, I was going to make a very short video where I just explain my Protoss build that I always talk up in PvT. This was on Star Station, and one of the first PvTs that I beat a Masters player, and this was last season, of course. And the main agenda here, or the main purpose here rather, that's the word I should use, is to just have another person to explain everything, because while I'm not top of the line, I am not Grandmasters, I'm not High Masters, I am High Diamond, according to sites and all that, because yes, I did check those last season. Um, I believe that the more people you have that explain something to you, the easier it is to get, whether you are that bronze player or that masters player who is having trouble in PvT. I didn't make up this build, but I did see it on Grubby's stream, I believe, and it is a very nice build because you transition into anything you want. So I'm just going to go through the first few minutes of this replay, and I will explain things as they go. Feedback appreciated, and I will make a couple more of these videos just to get a feeling for it before I call it or scrap the idea or change it at all. So if you can look at the other 2 or 3 videos that I'll accompany with this, then please do, and just leave your feedback in general if I should up the level that I am casting to, so to speak, so I won't explain the very basic mechanics, or if I should lower it so that I only explain the basics, and that will help the lower league players more than it will the higher league players. Either way, we will jump into this. And I have my mic working this time. Like I said, just going to speed it up at the start. Everything's pretty standard, and the thing I liked is that you get double gas early, and a lot of Terrans will say that's an Oracle rush. And I actually had one player a long time ago who saw this build. He called Oracle even in chat, and then I said, you'd be surprised. He sees the build in action and the pressure I put on, and he instantly leaves, you know, sends LOL and all that because I was playing random that game. But I love PvT as a matchup, and it just in general I really like it. But in this game, see, the Terran goes for a command center first build, and that's perfectly fine. This is Star Station. You can do a macro build any day of the week and you will be perfectly fine. But for us, let me slow this down real quick, because this is a point I missed the first time I was recording this, where around 120 gas, your first 120 gas, before you have spent anything, 120 to about 150 is about the latest you can go to make this effective that I have seen in my play. You take one worker off of both assimilators, so that way instead of having 3 in both, you have 2 in both for a total of 4 workers on gas. This just helps so that way your gas doesn't get out of control and you can keep up minerals. Because after your second Stalker comes out and you want to make sure to Chrono boost your Stalkers twice, you don't use more than 2 Chrono boost overall. You do not Chrono Boost warpgate right away. You can instead Chrono Boost out your Mothership. And your first Stalker and Mothership should come out before a Reaper can do any severe damage. He might get a probe, but you should still be fine. And as soon as that second Stalker pops, I sent down my probe to build my natural. And while that's happening, I'm also moving across the map. I wait for my second Stalker just to be perfectly safe. The only problem with this build is that if they did go for a Widowmine rush, especially if it's a proxy, you've pretty much lost the game. I have seen that a few times. But if it's not, then you just have to pick your engagements precisely. On a map like Star Station, or on a map such as Belshir Vestige, you can do this because you can always hit that top ramp where Terrans 9 times out of 10 will build a wall against Protoss, and in most matchups we've seen recently. And he can keep trying to poke out here with his Marines, but I can just constantly hit his production buildings, and this time that it's flying and lifting up, that is time that he is not making units or making add-ons. Now, because he built 2 barracks up here, there's not a free supply depot, because if he built standard, or played standard, there would be a supply depot right here, and that's just a free 100 minerals, and it can sometimes supply block the Terran, which is a nice benefit to have that early game. Behind all this, you have to be macroing, though, something that I sometimes do and sometimes don't, because I, again, am not top of the line. So you do want to go into a 1-day expand, of course, and then Robo, so effective in this matchup, you do want to get that out as soon as possible, and around this time, not right away, but you do want to move your 2 probes back into gas, so that way you have 3 on both. Right there, you see me doing it now. And you can also start your upgrades because you have to have those upgrades. He does have an engineering bay already on the field, this Terran does, but he did go for a very economic focused build. And when you have Stalkers, in any scenario that there's a bunker, as long as it's in these early game skirmishes, you need to poke at it because it makes the Terran feel more pressured, makes him feel a little bit more contained, and as long as there's not Marauders or Slow or Stim, you will be perfectly fine because you can just come back. You want to wait. Your shields regenerate very, very quickly. Look at that. Since he's out of combat, that shield regenerates very quickly. So you can poke in and out, and that repair does cost him a couple minerals. That means that those SCVs are not mining minerals. And now, in this game in particular, we can also see a siege tank. And now the thing about the siege tank is that Terran does not want to mate that under normal circumstances. But when you see this Mothership Core and Stalker play, and he has not scouted everything. In this case, he did with an SCV earlier that I was unable to stop, again, not top of the line. But that means that he would be expecting the blink all in. Now, he doesn't know that I'm not going for blink all in, so he had to make this tank. That delays his timings, that uses up a lot of gas in the early game. That means his stim comes out later. He only just now started Marauder production, so it's really nice to have that scenario. Because now I have my robotics bay finished, I have my +1 armor on the way before he has upgrades even started. And yes, this is a Masters level player, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not that great at the game, but I do try to improve myself, and I do try to help others. That's why I cast, and that is why I'm making this video. So I just wanted to go over a build because I do talk this build up so very highly whenever I stream or cast. So I would like you guys to try it. Give me your feedback and tell me how I can improve these little videos. I am going to make a couple more with other ideas and other focus points. Either way, please give me advice, give me feedback and whatnot, but thank you for watching.